Okay, so now we want to find the equation of a circle given the ends of a diameter. So if we think about this in terms of our circle formula, there's two things we need with our circle formula. We need the center of the circle for HK, and we need the radius. So let's think, how can we start with the center? Given the endpoints of a diameter, how can we actually come up with the center? Well, in our case here, the center would be the midpoint of the diameter. The diameter crosses through the center of the circle. So if we use our midpoint formula, which hopefully you remember, is simply adding together your x's, dividing by 2, and adding together your y's, and dividing by 2. So we would have negative 9 plus 3 divided by 2, negative 2 plus a negative 18 divided by 2. So in our first case here, we'd have negative 6 divided by 2, which is negative 3. Then we would have negative 20 divided by 2, which would give us negative 10. And again, that would give us our center. So we can go ahead and substitute that in for h. So we'd be subtracting a negative 3, which would be a positive 3. And then we'll plug in negative 10 for our k. So again, we'd be subtracting a negative, which would turn into a positive. And last but not least, we do need to find the radius as well. Well, if you recall, in a circle, we have the endpoints of a diameter, right? That's made up of the radii. So now that we know the center, we can easily take the center and one of the endpoints of the diameter to find the radius. And we can simply use the distance formula. And the distance formula is the square root of the quantity x squared minus x1, x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared, plus the quantity y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So we substitute that in. Now realize you could do this of the diameter as well and then divide it by 2. Since we already have the center, that's why I chose to do the center in this case. So I'll do negative 9 minus a negative 3 squared, so that would be addition there. Then we have negative 2 minus a negative 10, which again would be addition. So negative 9 plus 3, that's going to give us negative 6 squared, which would be 36. Plus over here we have negative 2 plus 10, so that's going to give us 8 squared, which is 64. 36 plus 64 gives us a square root of 100. Therefore, we get this to be a radius of 10. Now, in our formula, we are plugging in r squared, so we're actually going to take the 10 and square it, so it would be equal to 100.